In the golden age of flying, air travel was not just a transportation means, but an extravagant experience. In this era, spanning roughly from the late 1940s to the early 1970s, air travel underwent glamorous transformations that went beyond just reaching a destination. It was a time when wealth, sophistication, and the thrill of the sky came together to make an unforgettable part of aviation history. In this video, we'll explore the charm of this bygone era, delving into the 10 features of air travel during the Golden Age. Before that, watch the video till the end and subscribe to our channel. Also, press the bell icon for future updates. Let's get started. Number 10. Elegant design. When commercial flights began, aviation's evolution transcended mere transportation, leaving a lasting mark on architectural design. The design of airports and aircraft interiors was heavily influenced by the aesthetics of aviation. The Boeing 747, introduced in 1970, was a great example of this shift. It wasn't just a mode of transportation. It was a marvel of design with a two-story layout connected by an elegant spiral staircase. Its spacious cabins could accommodate over 500 passengers, making it a symbol of grandeur in the sky. The impact of aviation design went beyond the clouds. This shaped ground structures, like the T-terminal at JFK Airport, designed by Eero Saarinen, which beautifully mimics the form of a bird in flight. Number 9. Spacious seats. When it came to the seats, flying used to be a smoother and more comfortable experience than it is today. In the past, airplane cabins were roomier and had wider seats than they do now, when legroom, like it's being restricted. This extra room allowed passengers to stretch out and relax, turning air travel into a luxurious experience rather than a mere journey between 2 points. During those times, airlines prioritized passenger comfort over packing in as many seats as possible. The seat pitch, or the distance between seats, was much more generous, ranging from 36 to 40 inches, compared to today's 28 inches. Flights became more comfortable and less cramped as a result of the roomy seats that were provided. Number 8. Simple security. Boarding an aircraft was once as simple as catching a bus. Airport security was much more relaxed compared to today. Imagine not having to arrive at the airport hours before your flight, not taking off your shoes for inspection, or not worrying about liquids in your carry-on. Back then, people were hesitant about installing metal detectors in airports, fearing it would scare passengers and invade their privacy. This laid-back approach changed gradually due to a rise in hijackings from May 1961 to the end of 1972, with 159 incidents in U.S. airspace. The first airport to use metal detectors was New Orleans International Airport in 1970, marking a significant shift towards the strict security protocols we have today. Number 7. Powder room. The powder room of an airline used to be a luxuriously built and generously sized restroom in days gone by. This was a far cry from the cramped and purely practical lavatories that are common in modern airplanes. These powder rooms resembled luxurious lounges or dressing rooms, offering passengers a haven for activities beyond the mere necessities. Travelers could easily reapply their makeup, fix their hair, or simply take a cherished moment to relax away from the confines of their seat. Unlike the boring bathrooms we see today, these powder rooms were a touch of luxury and ease in the sky. They offered a one-of-a-kind and enjoyable experience for people who wanted to relax during their flights. Number 6. Fashion show. During the golden age of air travel, wearing simple pajamas on a plane was unheard of. It was more like a fashion show. At 30,000 feet, the skies were turned into a runway of style as passengers and workers alike dressed in their most beautiful clothes. Men were often seen wearing perfectly cut suits and ties, and women dressed to impress in fancy dresses and hats. This made flying a very important event. Back then, flight hostesses were called stewardesses, and their stylish uniforms were made by famous fashion houses like Chanel and Christian Dior. This way of dressing added a bit of glamour, making every flight a memorable and stylish experience. Fashion had such a big impact on flying that some airlines even held fashion shows in the aisles, making them into high-class catwalks. Number 5. Gourmet meals. During the golden age of air travel, flying was known for its extravagant food. Back then, sitting on a plane, you could enjoy a fancy dinner as if you were in a top-notch restaurant. In the past, passengers were certain of receiving gourmet meals, which were not merely regular meals, but rather lavish feasts that were prepared by exceptionally skilled chefs. Passengers delighted in courses like carved roast beef or turkey, all served on elegant china with genuine silverware, creating a truly luxurious experience. The focus was not just on the meals. Rather, it was intended to make flying into a memorable experience for the passengers. Olympic Airways showed this by putting gold-plated cutlery in their first-class rooms, which made the whole flight experience better. Number 4. Flight engineers. Flight engineers were once vital for airplane operations, working alongside pilots to manage and operate the aircraft's intricate systems. Unlike pilots, they didn't physically fly the plane but were responsible for monitoring and controlling critical systems, such as engines. Their coordination with the pilots during the takeoff, flight, and landing activities ensured that everything ran smoothly. In the past, larger planes couldn't operate without them, but advancements in technology have shifted these responsibilities to computers. Northwest Airlines was the last major U.S. passenger airline to employ flight engineers, retiring their final planes with engineer stations in 2009. Today, the role of flight engineers has evolved, reflecting the transformative impact of modern aviation technology. Number 3. Piano lounges. Back in the 60s and 70s, flying was a whole different experience. There was a time when you could experience live piano music while soaring through the clouds. Back in the 1970s, the first-class sections of some airplanes resembled luxurious flying lounges, complete with cocktail bars and pianos. These airborne lounges offered passengers a space to unwind, socialize, and enjoy a drink or two. The pianos, though not your typical grand pianos, were often electric Wurlitzer organs. This unique setup created an atmosphere akin to a sophisticated party in the sky, allowing travelers to relax and even join in singing along to tunes played by the onboard pianist. Notably, American Airlines featured an economy-class piano bar at the back of their 747-100 cabin, extending the joy of live music to more passengers. Number 2. Airplane postcards. When people traveled by airplane in the past, they had a special means to communicate their experiences with others. They could send postcards from inside the airplane. Airlines used to give special postcards to passengers during flights. From a great height, travelers were able to write down messages, which could be about their journeys or simply to say hello. Once on the ground, these postcards were sent by mail, carrying greetings across the globe. This was in a time before smartphones and the internet, when sending a postcard was a popular way to stay connected. Today, these in-flight postcards have become rare collectibles, cherished by enthusiasts for their special history and charm. Number 1. Onboard smoking. In the past, airplanes were like cozy living rooms where smoking was pretty normal. During those times, many flights had designated areas for smoking, where passengers could freely light up their cigarettes or cigars. It might be hard to imagine now, but people used to smoke right there in their seats, and the cabin air was often filled with smoke. Back then, we didn't fully understand how harmful smoking is to our health, so no one really gave it a second thought. Flight attendants even used to distribute cigarettes as part of the service. However, the last U.S. flight allowing smoking took off in 2000, signaling the end of an era where lighting up in the skies was simply part of the journey. That's all for today's video. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thanks for watching.